January again, used some of his preparation. He's going to be armed to the teeth at this point, having just played the World Cup, the World Rapid Team Championship. And okay, he opens with the English C4, so maybe a less theoretical battle ahead. I was going to say, do what you did in the first game, Fabiano, where you kind of got that 7-8 minute time advantage and then try and put the pressure on with White. But okay, Magnus playing with a really flexible first move, and White's trying to take the centre. I don't see Magnus going to a mainline King's Indian like we saw Farusha do a bit earlier on, but you never know with Magnus. He can surprise anyone at any time.
Yeah, the one thing with all these players nowadays, which has really changed, probably going back to the days of Anand, and when Anand was a junior, is that they play so many different openings, right? I mean, these guys, they can go into a mainline King's Indian defence, they can go to a symmetrical English. They're much more flexible modern players. And I don't know about Anand, but I mean, he had his favourite openings when he was a junior, and he probably didn't have the information available to him to learn as many openings, right? He didn't have the internet, he didn't have those possibilities to learn everything like they can nowadays. So.
I know, you can actually read about Anand's life, and he's very honest about it in his book, The Mind Master.
Oh, brilliant.
And there he talks about he living in Manila for a while, and how he kept winning all the book prizes. And in the end, they were like, okay, just come to our library, and then you can have open access to it.
There's actually this amazing story from Manila that Anand did share in that interview, but I'm not going to reveal it. We are going to hopefully bring that up at some point. But you're right, those years were super formative for him when his family moved there. Simon, but to your point, one of the big things about Anand has been his longevity and his ability to adapt to this changing time. It's not something that a lot of players from his generation have been able to do. He's been in the world top 10 for so many years, with Magnus's generation being at the peak as well. And I think that's been really special about his career. Being able to adapt to these new opening ideas, learning and relearning chess concepts that have been challenged by the younger generation.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, he did so well in the candidates at a very, I would say very advanced age. That sounds really harsh, but at an older age. And he has adapted. I mean, and no one thought he was going to do that either, I don't think, really. Not many commentators. But what on earth's going on at chess here? I
was looking at that. I was thinking, has that been played before? I was checking the database, and I was thinking, no.
I mean, Magnus has played the North Sea, hasn't he? Is this a version of North Sea, David? Or?
Wow, there's a lot that's
with his knights. That's what you've got to do if you're playing Magnus.
Do you think he knows how the horsey moves?
I think he's got a good idea.
Yeah, no, it feels like Magnus has brushed up on his knight endgames.
Where do you strike, right? You talk about knight endgames being the best when it comes to queen endgames, knowing where the queen belongs. It's so difficult to find
Checkmates. Checkmates. Even Magnus will lose the game if you checkmate him.
It's a tough journey up there, but yeah, if you manage it, it could be done. But right now, it is Magnus's king that has marched on the board. So Fabi didn't go for that pawn on e7. He needs the knight to keep things guarded. But knight c1 is coming in. You still lose the b3 pawn.
Still, Fabi is defending knight d2, but again, it's a question of timing. You see that the knight on d2 is completely tied down, and white's pawns, they don't move. They can't do anything, and all Fabi can do is just shuffle the king from the g2 square to the f2 square. And now it's going to be operation pawn time.
It's going to be operation e pawn time?
Yeah, look, there you go. H5.
Maybe b6 if you want to just enjoy yourself. Yeah, e6.
So e5, e4, because you want to get up that e pawn and grab the b pawn.
E6 is the maybe the sadistic way of doing it. So just take your time and move it one square at a time.
It's just crazy. No matter what position you give him, what middle game, end game, always his opponents seem to barely be able to move. Magnus, he just completely paralyzes them, and white's knight tied down defending the b pawn, the king tied down, and eventually one of them is deflected at the cost of black's e pawn, but now it is one of those corner pawns in the h pawn. And Harry is going to become Queen Harriet soon, Simon.
Yeah, and you can even go knight takes b3 probably and use the other one. I love the way you called it trousers legs the other day.
Trousers, yeah.
I thought that was cool. So is he going to go knight takes b3?
Yeah, I think he will.
Free pawn, pick it up.
Oh, he is. I thought he was not even sacrificing. And yeah, the trousers legs are coming down, right?
You go h4 here, Simon.
Yeah, I mean, always a good move. And
It's on the board.
the problem with knights is that you can only defend against his